Gotta turn the camera on. This camera was off. Everest. The dog is barking at something. I'll be right back, chat. I'll be right back, gang. What? What you barking at? What is this dumb dog barking at? Hi. Lay down, buddy. All right, guys. Weekly live stream with the dogs. Got me my player vibe because I'm a player. Celsius. I'm gonna be for real. I'm screwed. I'm screwed financially. I'm actually, before I tell the story, I'm gonna make sure my audio is good. But having problems with the mic that I'm trying to figure out. Audio is fine, ladies and gentlemen. I got excited because I saw we had a viewer, and then I realized I was just on my stream. So, yeah. Is Isabella down here too? Izzy! I am screwed financially. Let's check the comments. All right. I'm screwed financially, guys. Last week my phone broke, just wouldn't work no more. So I bought myself a fancy iPhone. First time I've ever had an iPhone, and it's the best decision of my life. It is such a good phone. The battery life is amazing. Jake Dollar in the chat. What's up, my homie? What's up, Jake? My brother. He's done a new account every single time. I swear to you. But anyways, I had to buy an iPhone. Battery life is amazing. The camera is immaculate. So that's perfect. Ran me $250, and I'm doing monthly payments to the AT&T store. But now I'm just trying to save money. Bad idea to go to Walmart today before the stream because I picked up a couple things. Today. I picked up the Ballerina 4K Steelbook. So I don't know if I told you this story, but two live streams ago, I went live and I was talking and said, yeah, I only can be on for an hour, 2 hours because I got to go up to Walmart an hour away to get the Ballerina 4K Steelbook and the Final Destination 4K. And guess what? I received a message as soon as I go live that said they didn't have it anymore. So 2 days later, I ordered it from a different Walmart that was even further away and only got the Ballerina 4K Steelbook. Actually, let me grab that real quick so I can show it off. I want to show off the Ballerinas by John Wick movies. Jake Dollar says this is my computer account. So he has a different YouTube account for his phone and computer and every time. So I picked up 3 new releases in the last couple of weeks. And I'm trying to think what movies am I going to buy soon that I don't really want to purchase. The other 2 movies besides Ballerina are the 2 movies that I told myself that I wanted. Now the only movie I think I'm going to buy on physical media is Fantastic Four when it comes out. Maybe Weapons. I'll probably buy Weapons on 4K. I hope they have a physical media release. Barbarian still doesn't. Which is stupid, by the way. But I got the Ballerina 4K. I actually recorded a short opening this, and I never posted it because I'm an idiot. But Ballerina, really cool steelbook. You got the flames here, and then you take this down, and it's just her surrounded by all the dancers. Haven't had a chance to revisit it, but I really want to. Also, right here. Is it right here? Should be right. Yeah, right here. I got my Thunderbolt steelbook. I know I showed this off a couple times, but trying to decide which steelbook I like better. I think the Thunderbolts, obviously, because it's a much better movie. But also, I have these 2. And then today I picked up Superman. I was considering ordering the steelbook or just going for the normal 4K. I decided to go for the normal 4K because I didn't want to do what I did with the Ballerina steelbook and order online and do all that stuff. So I like this because it's kind of like lenticular. So just each one. So I got Superman on 4K that I really intend on checking out soon again because I want theaters again because I loved it so much the first time. Decided to check that out. My brother says, what does 28 years later look like? Well, I'll show you here. So the steelbook was just the skull from the Bone Temple, which I thought was really cool. But again, I didn't want to do that. And I do like this 4K. We got Aaron Taylor Johnson, Jodie Comer, Ralph Fiennes, just 3 phenomenal performances in here. They should have Alfie Williams' name up here because he was a standout in the movie, but there's not. But just a really cool steelbook with 4K with The Bone Timbo coming out in like 4 months, which is probably my most anticipated movie of next year besides Avengers. Had to get it and rewatch it, even though it's on Netflix now. So if you don't want to purchase the 4K, you can check it out on Netflix. But I'm a physical media collector. I am keeping physical media alive. So I purchased those 2 things. We got 2 viewers. Say what's up in the chat. Send in your questions. We're obviously answering questions today as always. But today, I don't know what you're doing, buddy. Share screen. Today we are ranking action franchise movies. So I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm sitting on the pot, scrolling on my phone like everybody does. I was thinking, what do I want to do today? Obviously, it's going to be a tier list because I normally do tier lists. But so I was scrolling through other people's tier lists, and I was thinking, well, could I just rank 2024 movies? Like, I did that when I had Zachary Movie Chat. But, like, could I just do that? Decided against it. I was considering doing Disney animation movies. Decided against it. Video game movies was highly up there, and that's a tier list that's going to be coming probably next week, if we're being completely honest. But then I thought to myself, and I created one. I'm like, wait, action movie franchises. Fast and Furious, John Wick, Mad Max, Mission Impossible. The 4 premier action franchises. Now, I know people are going to say, since when the hell was Fast and Furious a premier action franchise? Well, buddy boy, I consider it because I enjoy the Fast and Furious franchise. So, yeah, we are going to rank the Fast franchise, Mission Impossible franchise, Mad Max franchise, and the John Wick franchise together. Now, I got rankings of the John Wick franchise and Mission Impossible franchise separately on the channel. So, yeah, that's what we're doing as a tier list today. You could always go in the comments, send in your questions, and we will be answering. It's a rainy day out. Alien Earth ends tonight, which I am going to be binging. As soon as I get off live, I'm going to watch an episode or 2, probably 2. And then tonight, I'm watching the Mets games because it's the final week of the regular season. We're probably not going to make the playoffs because we suck, but I got to cheer on the Mets. And then I'm either going to watch, I don't know what movie I'm going to watch tonight. I'm considering The Black Phone. I still got to watch Strangers Pray at Night for the Strangers ranking. But I'm also highly leaning towards checking out Ballerina Superman or 28 Years Later, like revisiting one of those. Whichever one I'm in the mood for. Ballerina is just kind of a movie that's going to be super easy to watch because of the action. So that might be one I turn on. I don't know yet, though. But 3 viewers, hey, everybody. Send in your questions, everything. We will be answering them, and we'll also be going on the tier list. Also today, they released the trailer for The Bride, so we will be reacting to that on the stream. I really wanted to react to The Mandalorian Grogu, but then I just really didn't feel like setting up my camera equipment and stuff yesterday, so I just did a short. So if you want to know my thoughts on Mandalorian Grogu trailer. And I wanted to take the Anaconda trailer and put it out separately on the channel that I did last live stream, but I just didn't do it. So we'll react to The Bride during today's stream. Cheers. I don't know why I did that to the mic. Cheers. All right. Let's tier rank action franchises. Now, we got every movie from the Fast Furious franchise, every movie from the Mission Impossible franchise, every movie from the Mad Max franchise, every movie from the John Wick franchise. And if you think of an action franchise, send it in the chat. Maybe I'll add it on at the end of the stream. We'll keep it going. I don't got nothing to do today. I'm off work today because my boss / my dad is out of town. I'm going back to work tomorrow. I don't want to go to work, but I need money. Specifically because I spent $63 in Walmart that I wasn't planning on doing. All right, we got Furious 7. The first one, not the first one. The first movie we're talking about is Furious 7. Now, Fast 5 is a phenomenal movie. Well, we got Fast 5, Fast 6, and Furious 7. Let's actually start with Fast 5, actually, because these 3 kind of go together as their own little separate trilogy, in my opinion. Fast 5 is where the franchise turned. We got the Fast and Furious, which is a racing movie. We got Too Fast, Too Furious, which is a racing movie. Tokyo Drift, we'll talk about that. Not very good. And then Fast and Furious, the 4th one, which is just horrible. Fast 5 starts out as this big action spectacle movie that completely turned the. I'm not even showing the tier. There we go. That completely turned the franchise around and kind of started this kick of just big action, dumb spectacle. So Fast 5 really kicked it off. It's not my favorite out of them, but I mean, it has great action set pieces. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is great in here. Love the family dynamic. Great action. So, I mean, typical Fast 5. I don't know if I'd call it an action masterpiece, but I'm going to go great movie with Fast 5. Fast and Furious 6, basically the same as Fast 5. I mean, it's got all the action. I think it's got a more memorable villain and more memorable plot than Fast 5 does. I honestly enjoy Fast and Furious 6 more than I do 5, just the action spectacle and stuff. So I think for Fast and Furious 6, considering putting it in action masterpiece, but then again, these are just schlocky movies. I got a notification. I'm going to read this real quick. So they're just schlocky movies. On here, we got like Mission Impossible movies, which are just really smart. John Wick movies, which are just action movies, but also have a great story. These are just schlocky movies. Honestly, you could think that the Fast Furious franchise doesn't really belong. So I don't think I'm putting any of them in action masterpiece. But Fast Furious 6 is my favorite of the Fast and Furious franchise. And Furious 7, it starts to it doesn't run out of steam per se, but it also has the weakest set pieces out of them all. Kind of doesn't have the magic that Fast 5 and Fast Furious 6 did. But replacing the big action spectacle is the emotions. If you don't know, Paul Walker died before this movie was released, so it's kind of the send-off to his character. Every time I watch this movie, I'm definitely brought to tears with that sequence, which has just been memed to death, but still, it's like when you look at it like that, it's a beautiful sequence. Like, not saying that the movie's bad, not saying that the action's bad, it's just not as good as these two, but still, the emotions alone bring it up to great movies. So this little trilogy of the Fast and Furious films right here, I'd say they all three go in great movie. Big drink of play a vibe. Wonder where the dogs are at. Paul Walker was great. I fully agree. Paul Walker was the heart of the franchise, and Vin Diesel kind of drove it to the ground. Like right now, we don't even know when Fast 11's coming out because they haven't had a script or anything. I will talk about this more when I talk about Fast X, but me and my dad are fans of the franchise. He likes this franchise a lot. I love the franchise because I watched it all before Fast X. We went to see Fast and Furious 9 together. Both didn't like it. Then we went to see Fast X together, and we really enjoyed it. And I remember this because me and him went to Texas Roadhouse after, and we were just talking our theories about it. One of the best movie experiences I've had with my dad because we're fans of it. And even though a lot of people hate that movie, I really enjoyed Fast X. Again, we'll talk about that later on. But still, I'm excited for Fast 11, but we just haven't heard anything about it. Too Fast, Too Furious is a sequel that is really fun. Actually, hold up. I just thought of a movie franchise that I'm going to add to this tier list. I know, it's all over the place. How have I not added the Bad Boys franchise? I just started thinking about this, bro, and hold on. Can you see what I'm doing here? You cannot. I gotta add the Bad Boys franchise, chat. I don't know what I'm thinking I'm doing. I just had this thought. There we go. And then choose files. Bad Boys. There. Now we added the Bad Boys franchise here that we'll add to at the end. Bad Boys is good. I know you've only seen the first one, but I really like the Bad Boys franchise. There's also another franchise that I'm thinking of that reminds me a lot of the Bad Boys franchise. Crap, what was it? I don't know. Nobody's up there. But I'm only including movies that have 3 or more. So, again, if you have an action franchise idea, I'll add it to this tier list. We'll be here for a while today. All right, anywho, let's go back to Too Fast, Too Furious. Now, Too Fast, Too Furious made me think of Bad Boys because just like Bad Boys, It is a really good original movie, and then a second movie that is just a lot of campy fun. And I think Too Fast, Too Furious is a lot of campy fun. You got Paul Walker, who is it? Too Fast, Too Furious cast. Yeah, Tyrese Gibson is who I was thinking of. They have great chemistry. It's really campy. Ejectocito, cuz! And then hits the button, and they just go flying out the car. A lot of camp, a lot of fun, a lot of goofiness. And it's not as good as these three, but it's still what I would say a solid hit. I also didn't go over the tiers. I got action masterpiece, great movie, solid hit, meh, dog water. So I really do enjoy Too Fast, Too Furious, and it is the film in the franchise that I just get a lot big kick out of. Not as good as the others, but I enjoy it. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. I almost said part 1. Jake says add the Transformers franchise. Now, I could, but I don't think I'm going to. I consider that more sci-fi than straight action. Now, you look at these movies, and what is it? It's a bunch of spies or a bunch of people fighting bad people. When you look at the Transformers franchise, it's just a bunch of robots fighting robots. But who knows? You know, maybe I will add it, because that's kind of teetering on the edge. Actually, can I put a poll in the chat? How do I do that? I'm also going to share the referral link, by the way, like I do every time for add Transformers. Yes or no? Can I make this a poll? I guess I'll do that. I could ban myself on this on StreamYard, by the way. All right, add Transformers, yes or no. I think I pinned that. Anyways, back to the tier list. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning is my personal favorite out of the Mission Impossible franchise. It's a movie I saw in theaters, and I was thinking, yeah, this is good, but there's too much going on. And then I bought the 4K Steelbook, and I liked it more, and then I liked it more, and worked up to my favorite in the franchise. In fact, a lot of Mission Impossible movies are kind of like that. We'll talk about Fallout here in a minute, which is a movie I wasn't the biggest fan of when I first watched it, and now it is just absolutely incredible. So, sorry, I saw this. Big Willie is my brother's alternate account, and he says yes. So thanks, Big Willie, also known as Jacob. But anyways, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning is a movie I've revisited over and over again, and I just find all the moving pieces, I don't feel like it's cramped anymore. I feel like it has the consistent action sequences, like very consistent action sequences, where like the first hour of the movie is just action sequences. Airport, or the beginning action sequence, the airport action sequence, the car chase, really fun. The characters are all perfect in here. And by the time we get to the end, Haley Atwell's character is just a perfect addition to the franchise. And it's just a movie that flows so well that I revisited it like probably 20 times now. I've seen this movie a lot. It's one of my favorite movies of the decade. It goes an action masterpiece. For a movie that I saw in theaters and I wasn't the biggest fan of the first time, I loved it. And that's why I'm hoping Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, I hope I revisit that and it becomes so loved. I'm just waiting on the 4K to come out. Because seeing that in IMAX, seeing the submarine sequence in that movie, actually, we'll talk about that when we talk about Final Reckoning. Meanwhile, we got Mission Impossible Fallout, which is also going an action masterpiece. It's going behind Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, just for personal opinions. But I do think probably Fallout is a little bit better. It's a movie that I saw once, didn't like, and then I revisited it a couple years later, fell in love with it. And then honestly, when Final Reckoning came out, I really just didn't remember anything about the plot in this movie. I really didn't remember anything about it. So it was basically like revisiting it for the first time again. And again, fell in love with it once again, and now I remember everything about it. I was really hoping I'd forget it again so I can revisit it and just be completely blown away. It's a masterpiece. Again, has all these moving parts that just come in together to a perfect finale. The ending where they're on the plane is just thrilling and exciting. When I revisit I was literally in my living room at the time, which is the place I'm going to again here in the next month. You'll see the studio change again. But anyways, I was standing there. I was like, yes, I am so pumped up. I am so excited. This was awesome. And it was just such awesome movie, awesome action set pieces, awesome action villain. And so Mission Impossible Fallout, I think personally probably is the best Mission Impossible movie, but personally, Dead Reckoning is one I enjoy a little bit better. My mom just texted me. See what she said. Doing the motherly things, sending me information about a scam that will probably never happen. Thanks for looking out for me, Mom. Is this a question? Most overrated movie in Mission Impossible, or is that a statement? Because I know you haven't seen any of the Mission Impossible movies, brother. Is that a question or a statement? Now, how we're going to do this, I don't, because like I literally have like most of the rest of the Mission Impossible movies right next to each other. So we're going to skip over these and we'll come back to them. Talk about a different franchise for a minute. Can I? Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. No. Okay, I don't want to do that. So hoping AI would do it. All right, that was a question. I'll answer that here in a moment. Actually, I'll answer that now. We'll move on to 2 John Wick movies. We'll pick 2 to talk about. Most overrated movie in Mission Impossible. I got another message. Well, actually, why not? Why not answer the question with a statement? That would go to Mission Impossible Rogue. Texting my mom back. Sorry, chat. Mission Impossible Rogue Nation is the most overrated movie in the Mission Impossible franchise. Big Willie says John Wick is him. I agree. Because not that I dislike the movie. I do think it's a great movie. It is going probably on the great movie tier. But it's also the movie that I watched first time and I wasn't the biggest fan of it. And then I watched it again and I enjoy it more. It's still got some great action set pieces. I believe this is the one where Ethan's on the run and Jeremy Renner's character and Ving Rhames' character just kind of slam next to them in the car and they like wave at each other. It's got some great stuff in here. It's got some great action in here. But it's also the movie that like it has memorable sequences. But when I think of from Ghost Protocol on, it's the one I think about the least. It's the one that the action set pieces are sequences that I'm not going to revisit as much. There's one great sequence underwater. That's all I'm going to say. Great sequence, but it's also just the movie that I enjoy, but it is the movie that is the least best out of like the big Mission Impossible movies. Now, obviously, we got the 3 originals, but then we got the movies that completely go for it as a big action franchise, and it's the least best out of those. Still a great movie, but it's going behind these in great movie. My brother and himself and Big Willie is having a conversation in the chat. So that's fun. Let's talk about John Wick. Let's talk about the first one. Now, I have not revisited it. This is the only one I have not revisited it ever out of any of the John Wick movies because I watched it and I thought it was kind of dull. You know, when you get to John Wick 2, 3, and 4, at least you have the big action set pieces. And we'll talk about John Wick 2 and how when I revisited it, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. But John Wick just never gave me anything I wanted to revisit it for. Like, number one, you see a dog get killed. And I love dogs. And that's just hard for me to watch. But you also don't really have any big set pieces. Don't really have any great action. A lot of it is just John Wick shooting people. It's not as stylized as the rest of the franchise. And then you have the sequence at the end where he's just fighting an old man and you don't believe for a second the old man can compete with John Wick. It's got a few good moments, but it's also just a movie that goes on the meh tier for me. I'm just not really the biggest fan of the original John Wick. I'm not really the biggest John Wick franchise guy. I enjoy the movies for what they are, but like a lot of people say they're the best, and I highly disagree with that. All right, let's go ahead and do John Wick 2, which is going behind the original John Wick on meh. It's not dog water, but it also really didn't do anything to completely like get my interest. Now, I revisited it for the first time, and I used to say it was my favorite of the franchise, But after I see 3 and 4, which just have these big extravagant action set pieces, this one really didn't connect with me. I feel the story was really boring. The pacing was so slow and didn't really do anything to completely capture my interest. And every once in a while, we'd get a big action set piece, and then it would just kind of be there and then be gone. And we don't really continue it further. It just goes to another talking scene, and I was just kind of bored, and it almost put me to sleep. So a movie, I don't know, like what I was thinking when I said it was my favorite, but I just didn't connect with it on rewatch. So it goes in meh. How many have we done? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll do one more movie. Let's go ahead and we'll do one more movie, and then we'll take a break for questions. John Wick 1 is good. What are you talking about? I disagree. I got to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Hey, Siri, put my phone on Do Not Disturb, please. Thank you. So you got to say please and thank you, because one of these days Siri's going to turn real, and she's going to attempt to kill the world. So I got to be nice to my Siri. John, yeah, I just can't connect with John Wick 1. Let's go ahead and do Furiosa. Let's go ahead and talk about Furiosa, and we'll take a break for questions. So send in your questions, comments, and everything in the chat, and I'll answer them. Furiosa is decent. It's more than decent. It's pretty good. I feel like there is a chunk of the movie that was just weird and didn't really connect with me. But once it gets to the action, it's pure Mad Max action. It has like the crazy set pieces, a lot of things happening at once, weird characters, big explosions. You need to see on the biggest screen possible. I saw it with my dad and on one of the biggest screens possible, and it just had some of the biggest action set pieces. This released, what, last year? Or was that 2025? I think it was last year. Yeah, it was last year because I bought, last year in May, because I bought the Furiosa Steelbook and the Fall Guys Steelbook the same day. Fall Guys, immaculate movie. It's so much better than Furiosa, in my opinion. Not saying Furiosa is a bad movie. Just story-wise, it didn't really connect with me, but the big action set pieces and big extravagant scenes were great, and it made me instantly get home and revisit Mad Max Fury Road right after. So I'm not saying it's a bad movie. It's actually quite good, but it's not as, like, immaculate as other movies. I'm going to put it in solid hit. Like, I see people on Twitter saying it's, like, one of their favorite movies of all time. Like, people hate on it too much. And I'm like, yeah, it's a good movie, but it's not as good as the others. I'm actually going to show my Furiosa Steelbook because I can. Where is my Furiosa Steelbook? It's in the F's, I'm sure. Where are you, Furiosa Steelbook? Shoot. Oh, there it is. I'm actually going to show my Fall Guy Steelbook too, because I bought them on the same day. And Fall Guy is so much better as a movie and so much better as a Steelbook. Whoa. That was a chair, not me. Here's a Furiosa Steelbook. It's a cool Steelbook. I like it. I considered not buying it, but obviously I'm a completionist and a collector, so I had to buy it. But I like the Steelbook. I like the back. I like the inside. I still haven't watched it, so I haven't ever revisited it. So maybe this is one that I'll revisit tonight. It's cool. I don't know what I'm watching tonight. I don't know. I don't know if I should rewatch a movie or watch The Strangers or rewatch The Black Phone. Probably rewatch The Black Phone closer to The Black Phone 2, though. Here's the Fall Guy Steelbook. I've watched this one like 10 times. Such a fun movie. Saw it in theaters, and then I revisited it like 100 times at home. When does The Black... Wow! What a voice crack. When does The Black Phone 2 release? October 17th. Yeah, I'll probably watch The Black Phone 2 closer to time, so it's in my head a little bit more before I revisit it. Everybody, like my favorite critics, Cody Leach, Sean Chandler, 3C Films, pretty much everyone is at Fantastic Fest. And I will go to a film festival one of these days. I really want to. Also, I like, with my job, I don't get paid that much, so I don't have the funds for it right now. But I really want to go to a film festival. I'm seeing all the reactions out of it. I'm like, that's awesome. That's like one of the coolest things. But they saw Black Phone, and all the critics I watch are saying it's not that good. Like, or saying it's good, but it's a little bit disappointing. Like, they're saying that the first movie was one of their favorites. And I saw the first movie, and I was like, okay, it's good. I didn't love it, but I thought it was solid. They're saying that if you aren't as high on the first one, you're going to love this one. So I think I'm going to love this one, but who knows? I still got to rewatch the first one. I think the marketing for the Black Phone 2 has been fantastic. I think it is one of my I think it is my most anticipated movie for the rest of the year. Either that or Tron Ares, or what is it? Tron Ares. One Battle After Another is up there that I'm seeing Friday. Really hope that one lives up to the hype. My brother says, is Mad Max franchise worth the binge watch? What do you mean him on? I'll ask that in a minute. I don't know. I'd say I enjoy the first one for what it is. And I'm not going to go individual because I'll be talking that in the tier list when I jump back into it. But I'd say no. I'd say it's not worth the binge watch. The first three, I'm not too high on. But then you get Mad Max Fury Road, which is just a really cool action movie, and Furiosa. Furiosa, Mad Max Fury Road, back to back. Yes, that's a must watch. But the other three movies are not, like, they don't even really make sense in the franchise. So I'd say watch Furiosa and Fury Road back to back. My brother says he needs to rewatch Black Phone. What do you mean by this? Him on skates is dope. I don't know what you mean by that. Are you talking about a movie? Oh, yes, I do know what you're talking about. The grabber on skates. I agree. Dude, kid you not, every time I'm at the theater and they play that trailer, when I just see him come out of the darkness on those roller skates, I'm just thinking this is going to be the greatest movie ever. Like, genuinely, I think that him on skates is badass. I'm sorry, I don't see people talking about it, but like, it looks campy and fun. Even like in what's apparently going to be a dream sequence, at least that's what we think from the trailers, with the girl, and he's just coming out of the shadows like this. So cool. So cool. The grabber has so much aura. Like, I thought the trailer for Black Phone was immaculate, and I was a little bit disappointed by that movie. I don't think I'm going to be disappointed by the Black Phone 2. I genuinely don't. That and Tron Ares releasing the same month, and then we get a new Predator movie back to back to back. Oh my God, I'm going to be eating good. Like, we are not even close to the end of the year. One Battle After Another this weekend. And then obviously the more important movie that's releasing this weekend, The Strangers Chapter 2. No, I'm kidding. I am excited for The Strangers Chapter 2, though. I'm sorry. I know it's a little bit weird because a lot of people hated The Strangers Chapter 1. I thought it was a fun, bad movie. Honestly, the characters make the most unbelievably dumbass decisions in the movie. Stupid decisions. Unbelievable. But it was kind of fun to watch them struggle. And honestly, I do think that the tension built up between the girl being left home and them being at home and knowing the stranger's about to break in, that's a fear of mine. Like, just sitting at home by myself and all of a sudden someone knocking on the door and people trying to break in and I'm all by myself. And then the tension, and it's honestly kind of tension filled. Like, I know a lot of people, it's not a personal fear of theirs, but it is for me. And I watched The Strangers, the first one, yesterday, and I didn't like it. Like, I wasn't the biggest fan of it because I feel like it had the tension, but then the tension was gone as soon as they started attacking. I feel in The Strangers Chapter 1, the tension kept going. So as much as I hate the trailer for The Strangers Chapter 2 because it has that dumbass TikTok song in it, and just like, oh, we're a trendy horror movie, go check us out. I am kind of excited because I think I'm still going to have fun with the movie, especially people are out of Fantastic Fest are saying that it's dog shit. So again, I think I'm going to like it. I think I'm going to enjoy it. My brother says it's every horror movie ever. Well, there are horror movies that just aren't scary. There are tons of horror movies that aren't scary. Check my messages real quick. All right. Any questions before we jump back into the tier? Everybody, go check out my friend Lane's channel, Reverse Lane. I was on a live stream with him a couple weeks ago. He goes live pretty much every day. A lot of fun to watch. Reverse Lane, go check him out. Feel like I need to shout out because me and my friends were trolling him in his stream last night. I feel kind of bad, but all right, questions. We might add the Transformers tier here. It depends on what we're looking like after here. Favorite horror movie casting? It's a hard one. Of all time. Oh, no, I got it. I'm thinking of a specific one. I think I got it, though. Like, if you're talking about killers, it's Matthew Lillard to Stu Macher in Scream. Pretty easily. I mean, he's the best character in that movie, and his killer is just so fun and funny, but also kind of intimidating. Same thing with Billy in that movie. Two fantastic killers. But I think I'd say Matthew Lillard to Stu Macher. Even like Ghosts, 13 Ghosts or whatever that movie's called, which I still got to rank my mom's favorite movies. I still got to watch one movie and then I'll rank them. And it'll be out soon. I just have a lot of videos still coming. But yeah, Stu Macher, like Matthew Lillard and 13 Ghosts stand out in that movie. I love Matthew Lillard. He's a top 5 actor in my opinion. So I'd say for horror movie, you were talking about the cast as a whole, not just the killers. Jamie Lee Curtis, the final girl, the Scream Queen, as Laurie Strode in the Halloween franchise is up there. Neve Campbell as Sidney Prescott obviously is up there. Thinking. Recently, Sally Hawkins and Bring Her Back and Alfie Williams and 28 Years Later, they're both up there. They're both absolutely immaculate performances in their respective movies. But I wouldn't say that's all time. I'm going to go to Letterboxd because I log all my movies on there. I'm actually going to see what horror movies I have checked out. Just so I can figure out. Marlon Wayans was really good in Him. Check out my Him review if you would. Unfortunately, Him was not a very good movie, but Marlon Wayans was really good in there. The Long Walk, they have horror in The Long Walk. I wouldn't consider Long Walk horror. I consider it more like Hunger Games, but it also is very sad. David Johnson in that and Alien Romulus, some immaculate performances. I don't want to say recent. I don't want to say recent as that because there's been some phenomenal castings, but in recent times, obviously you got Michael B. Jordan in Sinners. You got Naomi Scott, I think is her name, in Smile 2. Yeah, Naomi Scott. One of the best horror movies to release in a long time. Even like, I saw it in theaters and I loved it, and then I bought the 4K and I watched it like 4 times and I still love that movie. So Naomi Scott is up there. Toni Collette in Hereditary, very much up there as well. I wouldn't say all time, but then like psychological horror, she's the best. She is just so good. Who are you talking about? She is good. Naomi Scott in Smile 2, I guess. See, I got Black Phone right here. Did I review the Black Phone? Edit your review. I did. Like, I used to be so bad on Letterboxd, man. I used to be so abysmal at writing reviews. Like, I used to have this because I was friends with somebody, not really friends with them anymore, but that's how we did this. Like, the Black Phone is nowhere near awesome. It had, holy freaking crap, dude. I spelled writing so wrong. No, still spelled that wrong. Writing. Had writing problems and weird editing choices, but overall it was a very creepy and enjoyable horror film. I don't know what I'm talking about with editing choices. And my issues with Ethan Hawke's creepy acting really held this film for me. Yeah, I do enjoy Black Phone. I'd say my thoughts on that still pretty much the same. Performances. Yeah, honestly, I'd probably have to say Laurie Strode. Laurie Strode in Halloween is Laurie, or Jamie Lee Curtis is Laurie Strode in Halloween is my favorite. Black Phone is underrated in my opinion. How can you say it's No, hold on. You don't understand the definition of underrated, brother. Because the Black Phone is anything but underrated. 81% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's not underrated. The majority of people adore this movie. Like, I think it's overrated, in my opinion, because it's overrated. You would say it's perfectly rated because, like, there's barely anybody that says it's a bad movie. So I don't know what you're talking about here. I'm not even going to lie to you. I got a little cold. Just turned a little chilly in my room. So we're about to jump back because it's a top 10 horror movie of the decade. A lot of people have it in their top 10 horror movie of the decade list, brother. That's not me. I have Talk to Me, Smile 2. Smile 2 is the definition of underrated. I mean, oh, no. I almost jumped out of the tier. Holy crap. Or jumped out of the live. Hold on. What's Smiles 2 Rotten Tomatoes score? Is that underrated? Oh, it's higher than the Black Phone. It's at 86. So maybe not underrated, but how much of a fantastic movie I think it is. I'm not trolling. Like, they're perfectly rated. Perfectly rated. Perfectly rated. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I'll tell you what is an underrated show. Alien Earth. Maybe underrated. What is Alien Earth's Rotten Tomatoes score? Oh, never mind. It's at a 95. Just the reviewers I've seen have just been so negative. Adam Does Movies hates the show. Sean Chandler, oh boy, I did not mean to do that. As far as Sean Chandler, as far as I know, likes the show. He only reviewed the first 2 episodes, but I think Alien Earth is a masterpiece. I think episode 5, which I'm not even going to lie to you guys, I have not seen an episode since my last review, which I reviewed episode 4, said I was super excited for the rest of the show, and then I just stopped. Idiot. Because other stuff got in the way. I had to watch a bunch of movies and I just kind of got behind on it. Now I'm getting caught up before the finale tonight. Like episode 5 was phenomenal. It doesn't continue the arc on the island, but it shows what happened on the ship that led it to crashing to Earth. And it is just an awesome slow build that sets up everything perfectly. It is a phenomenal episode of television. So I'm actually going to put on a long sleeve shirt real quick because it is cold as buns in here, man. Where is the long sleeve shirts? Normally just throw on my Raider shirt. I actually have a jacket here. I'll just put on my Chiefs jacket. I'll just do that. Kansas City, we finally got a dub this week. Supporting my red. Supporting the red. Support the red. Finally, our first dub of the year. We played like crap against the Giants, but still we won. So there's that. All right, before I dive back into the tier, I'm getting all over the place here. We've been on break for like 20 minutes. All right, let's dive back into the tier. All right, Bears looked so much better. Yes, brother, they looked better. I don't know how many times I have to say this because they played the Dallas Cowboys defense, who made Russell Wilson look like prime freaking Dan Marino. So I don't know why that's who I had. And Big Willie, who's also my brother, said, dude, I wish the Cardinals would have won. So me too, man. Yeah, both of them. My brother's having a conversation with himself. He's losing his mind. No, the Cowboys defense is terrible without Parsons. They're not even going to hold a tribute for Micah Parsons, which is just pathetic, in my opinion. All right. We did a Mad Max movie. Wait, where are the Bad Boys? I thought I had... Did I not have... Hold on, where are the Bad Boys in here? Okay, so they're gone. Where? There, now they're added. Okay, I don't know what's going on there. All right. We're going to add a Bad Boys movie in here. I think from now on, we're going to go 1-1-1-1. So one franchise, one franchise, one franchise, one franchise. All right, let's add a Bad Boys movie in here. I guess let's start with the first Bad Boys. The first Bad Boys is okay. It's an okay movie. I got to share this, by the way. There we go. It is not good, or it is good, but it's not great. I think the plot itself isn't really all that memorable. Really, what holds it together is Will Smith and Martin Lawrence's chemistry, which is really what holds the franchise together as a whole. But overall, the story itself is not as memorable. When you look at the other movies in the franchise, you think, oh yeah, the story was a lot of fun, had some good action sequences, and the cast. And here, I don't really think about the story itself. I don't think about any of that. I think of the chemistry between the characters. I enjoy the movie, yes, but like the rest of the franchise is much better. It is still a solid hit. It's still a solid movie. I don't think it belongs on meh, but it's compared to the rest, it's not very good. All right, let's do a Fast and Furious movie. Let's do the Fast and Furious. We'll try to. I know it's been a weird tier, kind of all over the place. My brother says Bad Boys is pretty damn good. I know you enjoy it. Watch the Bad Boys 2. I love the Bad Boys 2. The Fast and the Furious is a really good racing movie. I love the chemistry between Vin Diesel, Paul Walker, the rest of the cast. There is a sequence in here that I remember watching with my dad, and I remember like it said something like they called him a pussy and then said the N-word right after. So that was a lot of fun. My dad's like, what is this movie rated? Because I watched it with him when I was 13. So that was a lot of fun. I remember that vividly. But like the story, the racing sequences is all a lot of fun. I enjoy the Fast and the Furious. And now it's not as good as like when it turns into a straight action franchise. But like on a story level, on a racing level, for what it was trying to do, it is pretty dang good. So I'd put it in solid hit. I'd actually put it above Furiosa. Can I do that, please? Why is it? Okay. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. There we go. That was complicated, but I got it the way I wanted to. Nah, it's peak. Are you talking about The Fast and the Furious? It's a good movie. It's a solid hit. All right, let's do the first Mission Impossible now. Where are you? There you are. Which is another solid hit. It's a Brian De Palma spy thriller. It's got everything that Brian De Palma brings to the table. It's got fun action. Not as good as the rest of the franchise, obviously, but I mean, it's got some great sequences. Really intense sequence. The sweat sequence where he's hanging from the roof. You can't have anything touch the ground. The sweat always has me on the edge of my seat. Uses a lot of cool technology for a 90s action movie. I really enjoy the original Mission Impossible. It's not as good. It's not as rewatchable as like the movies later on. But again, it's a start to the franchise that is a really solid hit. Goes in solid hit. Let's just do it like this, I guess. I'd say it's better than Too Fast, Too Furious. I'd say it's better than Furiosa. I'm gonna put it right here. I think the original Fast and the Furious is better than the original Mission Impossible. All right, and we already did the first John Wick, so let's move on to John Wick 3. Let's talk about John Wick 3. Now, John Wick 3 is a movie I watched for the first time, and, well, actually, I watched half of it and then fell asleep. So the next day, early on in the morning, I watched it, and then near the back half of the movie, I just kind of got bored and stopped paying attention for some reason. Just got really boring, and I thought to myself, you know what, John Wick Chapter 3, I don't feel like I was fully attentive. I feel like I just woke up too early, wasn't fully attentive. So I rewatched it again, and while I do think the story is completely mixed, the story goes all over the place and is just really weird. Has us going to like the middle of the desert with who is that? Who did he meet? Halle Berry, that's right. With Halle Berry, just goes to the middle of the desert with Barry, and just a really weird turn. But I do think the action in the movie is peak. It's a movie that I've seen the action several times, and it kind of switches from kind of generic, not as stylized action to the big John Wick extravagant, crazy action sequences. Well, the story I don't think is as peak. Goes all over the place. It does have some of the best action sequences in the entire franchise. So again, I'd say John Wick 3 is a solid hit. Well, shoot. All right, I'll put it right there. I'll put it behind Furiosa. Okay. Now what do I want to do? Did the French... Oh, no, I got to do a Mad Max movie now. That's right. Where is the original Mad Max on here? There you are. It's a much weirder poster than the rest of the movies. The original Mad Max is weird. If you look at the premise here, let's look that up. Mad Max premise. The premise of Mad Max involves a near-future Australia devastated by societal collapse, I think, and resource scarcity, turning the highways into a war zone where violent gangs and desperate individuals battle for gasoline and survival. The story follows former highway patrol officer Max Rockstansky, who becomes a wandering warrior haunted by personal tragedy, seeking vengeance amongst the gangs that wronged him while trying to carve out a means of survival in the brutal, lawless world. Now, with all that said, that's the final 20 minutes of the movie. The rest of the movie is literally kind of like a day in the life of Max. He goes home to his wife. He's a cop, so he goes hunts down criminals. And then, like, the final half hour of the movie is the criminals getting pissed off at Max and going to murder his entire family, and Mad Max murdering the criminals and becoming Mad Max. That is like the very end of the movie. Now, that's not to say the movie's bad. The movie is good. I enjoyed the movie for what it was. It had some very solid character moments. I really like, shoot, what? Why can I not remember anyone's names today? I'm going to see the name and I'm going to think I'm an idiot. Mel Gibson, that's right. Mel Gibson is really good as Max. So, I mean, it had a lot of good moments here. But on the story, like, you look at that and you think it's going to be a revenge thriller. It's not that until the final 20 minutes. It's still a solid movie. I'd say it's a solid hit. I'd much rather revisit, like, Mad Max Fury Road again. Just like that. But it is the third best Mad Max movie. I think I'll put it behind Bad Boys. I'll put it behind Bad Boys. Bad Boys and Mad Max are both pretty even for me. I think I'm putting it Bad Boys because I'd much rather revisit that movie just for the chemistry alone than the original Mad Max. Let's do Bad Boys 2. Let's talk about Bad Boys 2, which is a great movie. Now, I'll fix where I want it on the tier in a minute. But Bad Boys 2 is great, man. Bad Boys 2 gets a lot of hate. It is just so wild, so crazy. You got the first sequence of the movie is Martin Lawrence and Will Smith killing members of the KKK. Insane. Insane. You got a sequence where Martin Lawrence goes under the covers with a naked dead woman to hide from people. Insane. It's got a crazy story. It's got crazy set pieces. It's got crazy character moments. Like the stuff with Reggie on the first date. All-timer sequence. And above all, it is just the funniest movie in this franchise that I've revisited several times. And I die laughing every time. Bad Boys 2 is just a wild and crazy movie. My brother says, isn't that movie racist? It's not racist if the blacks are killing the KKK. Okay, like that. The KKK is very racist, yes, but Will Smith and Martin Lawrence killing the KKK is a lot of fun. So I overall really enjoy Bad Boys 2. Heck, I think I'm gonna Heck, dude, I think I'm gonna put it over Fast and Furious 6. I think it'll go at the top of great movie just because of how much I enjoy the heck out of Bad Boys 2. Let's do Mission Impossible 2. Let's do Mission Impossible 2, which is the worst Mission Impossible movie. It goes in meh. Now again, I'll decide if I like it better than the other two. It's a movie that's got moments. It is very clearly 90s action cheese. You've seen a movie like this several times before. You got the big set pieces, you got the slow-mo. God, you got the slow-mo. You got the gun moments. It is a John Woo movie, but it's also the movie out of the Mission Impossible franchise that I will never revisit. Even when the newest one came out, I rewatched every single one in the franchise. And then I just never revisited Mission Impossible 2. Even when I was doing the review series, which I still probably got to continue, I didn't review this one because I just didn't want to rewatch it. I didn't want to talk about it because it's just not all that fun. It's got its moments, but the movie runs on for way too long, specifically because near the final act, you get so many sequences of Ethan Hunt on a bike shooting guns and it going, let me pull out my gun. Oh, I'm shot. Let me fall off my motorcycle. So slow. And it can't be all that entertaining when I'm just sitting back thinking, can this movie end? Can it be over? Why are we doing slow-mo every 5 seconds? The movie's over 2 hours long. Let it end. Why is there slow-mo? And I'm just not the biggest slow-mo guy. So, honestly, just because I like Mission Impossible more, and there is solid moments in the movie, it is better than the first two John Wicks, but it is meh. And I know I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for that opinion right there. A lot of hate, but that's just how it is. I'd much rather revisit Mission Impossible 2 than these two John Wicks movies. Maybe. I wouldn't really revisit any of these down here. What's the franchise we got the most movies in? Let's do Fast and Furious, Fast 4, Fast and Furious 4, whatever it's called. Dog Water, it's a terrible movie. I don't care about any of the characters. It has Vin Diesel and Paul Walker back together in the most boring way. The villain, boring. The action, boring. The story, nonsensical. It's a movie that put me to sleep. I fell asleep by the end of the movie, and I started it at like 6 o'clock. So the movie ended at 8 o'clock. I stay up till midnight most of the time. This movie was so boring. It put me to sleep. It was just dull, uninteresting, bad movie. And so I'd much rather oh shoot, I almost got out of this again. I'm an idiot. But it's bad. It's Dog Water. It's our first movie in Dog Water, and I honestly think it's might be the only movie. And well, no, we got one more movie in Dog Water for the tier. And that's the last movie I'm going to talk about before I go get a drink because my mouth is getting a little dry. That's Mad Max 2 Beyond Thunderdome, which I am shocked to know that people love this movie. I thought it was pretty bad. It is infinitely better than Fast 4, but it's not very good. I don't really remember much about the movie. All I do remember is that it was boring. The story doesn't get anywhere interesting. Actually, is this Mad Max 2 or 3? Okay, that is Mad Max 2. The story doesn't go anywhere or do anything interesting. The action is dull. The character moments are boring. Just kind of ends out of completely nowhere. I didn't vibe with it whatsoever. And it's a movie I just kind of forgot about. I don't remember anything about the movie. So it's Dog Water. It is the worst movie in the Mad Max franchise. And I'm shocked to learn that people will really enjoy it. All right. I'm going to go grab a water. Tell me in the comments, send in your comments, questions, concerns, and let me know if you want me to add the Transformers franchise to the end here, which apparently my brother does. So I might add it on when I come back. But I'm going to go grab a water. I'll be right back. All right, my brother really wants me to add Transformers. So I will. Oops. All right, adding Transformers. You're welcome, brother. We're not including the animated one because that would just feel weird in this tier list. We will include the rest of them, though. Which one was that one? Age of Extinction. So, just to let you guys know, we will definitely have more in the dog water. Dark of the Moon. And in case you guys are wondering what my opinions on the animated one is, not the biggest fan. Really not the biggest fan of Transformers 1. I'm sorry. I just thought it was weird. Got Rise of the Beast, Age of Extinction. Is this the first one? Yes. All right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We need Last Night and Bumblebee. And then that'll be all the Transformers movies. Did that add the... Oh, it did. Sick. Sickity-dickity. You're welcome, Jacob. My brother says, thanks, Zaddy. I don't like it when he says that, but I don't really get an option to what he says. There we go. There, the Transformers movies are added on the tier. Send in your questions. We'll take a minute before we dive back into the tier. Send in your questions. Let's go on Twitter, see if I can find anything interesting to talk about for a minute. What do you mean? Log me out. Log me in, please. Thanks. Wow. Marvin Jones III is cast as Tombstone in Spider-Man Brand New Day. So we're getting Tombstone and Spider-Man Brand New Day. Sick. He voiced it in the Spider-Verse movies and was going to play him in El Muerto. And now he's going to play Tombstone. That's sick. Tombstone's always a character that I think is so badass, and I'm happy we're going to get him in Brand New Day. Cool. Let me repost that. Disney Plus increasing their subscription prices. Shout out to my mom for letting me still use her account. She's the best. Thanks, Mom. Love you. I keep seeing people post on Twitter like clips of the long walk, which I think is incredible. It's like the best movie of the year. And it's doing pretty good on my channel. Go check out my long walk review. I see something that pisses me off or doesn't piss me. I don't really know. The Major League Baseball will use the automated ball strike system during the entire 2026 season. Each team will get 2 challenges and can keep them if they're successful. Challenges can only be initiated by a pitcher, catcher, or batter, and the request must come right after the pitch. Okay. Okay, that's kind of cool. You know, I don't like robots and like AI and all the technology being added into things. Don't like it in movies, don't like it in TV shows. But honestly, for being honest, that's a good sign. Because in baseball, it really pisses me off. Like, there's a game, the Mets played the Dodgers, that we ended up, I think, winning in extras, but we almost lost because it was an 0-2 count to Shohei Ohtani, and our pitcher threw it right down the freaking middle, and it was called for a ball. Jacob was there with me. He can tell you I was losing my freaking mind, dude. Now, if our pitcher could just tap his hat without getting ejected because the umpires are getting offended that they suck cheeks and are getting their jobs replaced. Like, easy thing. If you don't want technology to take over your job, become an umpire that actually calls balls and strikes. Like, I get it. Each umpire has their different strike zone. But if you get one, like, here's a strike zone. And if you get one out here called for a strike, you're doing something wrong. It's a you problem now and not just the fact that the umpires are bad. So my brother asks, what do I think of Jackson Dart starting for the Giants? That is the best decision that the Giants could make. Again, Russell Wilson is not a good quarterback. The Cowboys defense is terrible and made him look good. Now, again, the Chiefs defense is immaculate. Their offense sucks, but we shut him down. They played the Commanders, whose defense is pretty solid. They shut him down. But Russell Wilson's bad. Russell Wilson is a bad quarterback. Jackson Dart played really good at Ole Miss. He did have a couple of losses this past year, last season, that I feel bad for him for. But I like him. We just haven't seen much out of him. And I think he's going to do much better than Wilson. No, Jacob, let's not let Russ cook. He's terrible. He's a terrible quarterback. Let's see who they play. Yeah, they play. Oh boy, yeah, they play the Chargers this Sunday. This Sunday they play the Chargers, and so that's not really a good game for Jackson Dart to be his official first game. I'm actually going to quote this real quick for my Twitter. Go follow my Twitter. It's still Zach Movie Chat, YT, because I never changed it. But go follow my Twitter. Really appreciate it. All right. Let's hop back to the tier list, shall we? It is currently 1:16 p.m. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten lunch yet. All right, let's do a couple Transformers movies to try to get them on the same page. Let's start with the first Transformers, wherever you're at. First Transformers. Now, when I look at Action Masterpiece, I am sharing it. Okay. What is going on here? My mouse is tweaking, bro. When I look at these two movies, I think, yes, action masterpieces. When I look at Transformers, I think it is one of the most fun action movies. Love Sam Witwicky. The story, like, it's not until the first hour until we see Optimus Prime and the Transformers, but it's just so fun, so lively, has the big robots fighting each other, made with practical effects. It is just, or no, not practical effects, but with immaculate CGI that you don't get CGI like this nowadays. It looks perfect. It is just so fun to watch, and it's just a thrill ride to the very end. It is the best Transformers movie. Honestly, I'm considering putting it at I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to put it at the end of Action Masterpiece, not only because I feel like the story in the first Transformers movie is really good, but it's just one of those action movies that is just, you've never seen it before, and the sequels have never captured that magic. Now, when you look at the Transformers franchise compared to the rest of these, it's so different. I don't even want to include it here, but my brother asked me to, and I love my brother, so I decided to do it. All right, let's do the second Transformers, and we'll do a different franchise. Where are you? There you are. I think this is it right here, right? Is this it? Or what's it? Oh, that's the last night. Okay. All right, Revenge of the Fallen is not very good. It's actually going on the meh. Now, it is going like at the top of the meh because it's still giant robots fighting giant robots. You get the Optimus Prime fight sequence, which is awesome, but it's also really weird, like where you get a robot humping Megan Fox's leg for like probably a good 10 minutes of the movie if you combine it all together. Weird. You get giant Transformer balls. Weird. It's got the big Michael Bay not cringe humor, but not dark humor, but childish humor, like balls, butts, sex, that kind of humor. Just the typical Michael Bay stuff. You see it in all of his movies. But it's got that cranked up to 11 and a story that's not as near solid as the first Transformers movie. In fact, I don't remember anything. Wow. I don't remember anything as like super memorable in the movie besides the Optimus Prime death sequence. That's a little, I wouldn't say that. That's a little concerning. Sorry, I'm texting my mother back. Yeah, Jacob, I wouldn't say that if I were you. All right, let's do Fast and Furious franchise. Oh, I skipped over Tokyo Drift, which is a meh movie. I'm actually going to put it here. I don't really remember much about it. I just remember that the character of what is it? Justin Long? Is that who it is? Furious 3 cast. Who is it? Oh no, Sung Kang is Han. Great addition to the Fast and Furious franchise. Like the one time where he was presumed dead and he came back. I loved watching that. I like Han. I think he's one of my favorite characters in the franchise. But I just don't remember anything about the story. It's more of a racing movie. It doesn't really have all that action. And just the story itself is dull and boring. And, where you get Tokyo Drift and Fast and Furious, those are two movies that I don't really enjoy. Then from like after Fast and Furious, then the franchise starts getting back together. So Tokyo Drift, where you at, buddy boy? Oh, I already put it up there, dummy. Is going at the end of the meh. I'm not the biggest Tokyo Drift guy. And it's like the movie, even like Fast Furious, I remember more about it. I don't really remember much about Tokyo Drift, except that they're in Japan and Han is introduced. So not the biggest fan of that. Let's do a Mission Impossible movie. We got Mission Impossible 3, which is a very solid hit. Where am I going to put it on here? I'll figure that after I talk about the movie. Mission Impossible 3 is one of the most intense movies in the franchise. Philip Seymour Hoffman's villain is the best villain in the Mission Impossible franchise. The sequence where he's about to kill his wife, the beginning of the movie, adds to the intensity because you don't know if his wife's actually going to get murdered, and you don't feel that relief until you realize that it was a mask at the end of the movie. Even like I didn't notice this until I rewatched the movie. The sequence where he's running in and the bad guy literally has his wife on the cart walking by Ethan Hunt. Ethan doesn't realize, knowing he was that close to saving his wife adds to the intensity, and Philip Seymour Hoffman is great. Has some really fun action sequences. It's very much like the first movie where it's not as near as fun as the other movies, but it's still a very solid movie, and I really enjoy it. Going above, and I like it more than the original Mission Impossible. Actually, it's going to the top of solid hit. It's the best movie in the solid hit category. All right, we got 2 more Mad Max, 2 more John Wicks. Shoot, we only have 2 more Mission Impossibles. But we do have a lot of Transformers and a lot of Fast and Furious. Let's go and jump back into Fast and Furious. So I did 5, 6, 7. 6, 7. I'm sorry. I had to do that. What are you talking about? I was talking about Mission Impossible 3. Yeah, let's. Oh, I only have 2 movies in that. Yeah, let's get the Transformers and Fast Furious until we only have 2 movies on them as well. Where am I at? Where's Transformers 3? Transformers Dark of the Moon is by far 6, 7 is by far the best Transformers movie since the original. It is a really solid movie. It tones down the Michael Bay humping legs, Transformers, robot balls plots, and adds up more insane action sequences. The whole hour and a half battle for Chicago in the third act is a lot of fun. It's very brutal. Like, it can be very brutal. I like Sam Witwicky as a character. He's still a lot of fun in here. And it adds to the intensity. It's a lot of people's favorite in the franchise. I don't think it is near as good as Transformers. I don't even think I'm putting it in. Whoa. I don't even think I'm putting it in great. I think I'm going to put it in solid hit. But it's the best movie in solid hit. Like, it's got the craziness of, like, the Transformers movies. It's got the intensity. It's got the sequences where, like, I'm definitely tired after watching this movie, just like I am with almost every Michael Bay movie. But it goes here. Speaking of Michael Bay, I didn't even realize that we got the Bad Boys movies that are also directed by Michael Bay. The first one and the second one. So there's that. We got a lot of Michael Bay movies in this tier. But it's a solid hit. Where were we at? 5, 6, 7. Where's 8? How many Fast and Furious do we have? Hold on, let me count this out. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Fast and Furious. 1, 2, 2 Bad Boys. 1, 2, 2 Mission Impossible. 1, 2, 2 John Wick. And 4 Transformers. All right. Fast and Furious 8. Where you at? There you are. I don't know. I like the action sequences. It gets so insane, crazy carnage with the action, but it also is a story that's kind of boring. This is the movie where it loses a lot of steam, because not only is the villain, Cate Blanchett's villain, not really all that interesting to me, but when you look at the rest of the franchise, these 3 movies right here are just great, fun action. This movie definitely runs out of steam because you don't have Paul Walker in there. You're definitely missing a member of the cast. It's just not all that fun. It definitely has more sequences, like specifically, I think this is the one of the sequence where they're on ice, and then sequence where freaking Vin Diesel shoves his hands in cement and has rock hands. I think that's what he does. No, he smashes rock. He just punches a whole brick wall and it just crumbles down. Ridiculous. But it's just not a movie I'd ever really revisit. If I want to revisit a Fast Furious movie, I'm revisiting those 3. So it goes in meh. It goes right here, right behind Revenge of the Fallen. I don't know what he's doing, but for the ES 4 5 ES 4 to DD. He's tripping. Transformers Age of Extinction is a movie that a lot of people hate on. I don't remember hating it while watching it. I just don't remember liking it all that much either. So it's going in May. I don't really remember much about the movie. Like, I see people say it's like the worst one. I don't remember having feelings that strong to it, but I also don't remember liking it that much. But I also don't really remember anything about it. I know the dinosaurs don't even show up for like the final 5 minutes of the movie, so it's kind of weird. But I'd say I'd put it right here, just because I don't remember anything about the movie. It's just a movie that's not all that memorable, and like, it's just not all that good. Fast and Furious 9 is going in. Yeah, I think I'm going to put it in dog water. It goes to the top of dog water, which is not saying much. It's not a good movie. This is where the franchise really ran out of steam for me. Fast and Furious 8 ran out of steam. Fast 9 just gets so ludicrous. The story goes all over the place. It doesn't make sense. You got Ludacris going up into space just in a car. You got no compelling action sequences. I think is this the one where John Cena's introduced as well? I think it is, as his brother. They don't do anything with that plot. It's not compelling. So, I mean, this is just the movie that it just goes too far, too boring, not as near as interesting as any of the other movies in the franchise. This is where the franchise ran out of steam. Transformers is a good idea, and I think that sometimes it's not executed right. I agree. Most of the time, it's not executed right. There's not a lot of good Transformers movies. They're fun to watch. It's just not all that good. And we got another dog water movie in Transformers The Last Knight. It's actually the worst one out of all these. Transformers The Last Knight is the movie that I watched. I was just bewildered at how bad it is. Not only is it literally like so ludicrous, where you got Merlin working with the Transformers and they're doing all this crazy Merlin stuff, and you got Mark Wahlberg going to the house and getting hit in the balls, but then also They try to do Optimus Prime turning bad, which is a very cool plot, very cool idea. But how they execute it is literally just, hey, Bumblebee says, hey, Optimus Prime, you're my friend. Don't kill me. I like you. Oh, that's cool. Bumblebee, dab me up, homie. We're cool now. Literally a 5-second fight. The only thing that the movie had going for that could have been partly interesting, and it's just dull and dumbed down. It's just where Transformers just pushed it way too far and goes just, oh my God, this is so freaking stupid. So definitely have to go in dog water for me. All right, let's see here. 2 Mission Impossible, 2 John Wick, 2 Fast and Furious, 2 Mad Max, and 2 Bad Boys. All right. Hold on, my pants were sticking to my fat gut. Kind of hurt. Let's do Ghost Protocol for Mission Impossible. I can't believe I did Rogue Nation over Ghost Protocol. And it is what I would put in action masterpiece. It's actually going right here. I mean, it not only has the best sequence in any action movie that I've seen ever, where he's climbing the big tower and, you know, the glove starts failing. So intense, edge of my seat stuff. Every time I watch it, I'm just kind of biting my nails like, oh God, is Ethan going to die? Awesome stuff. Got a great villain, obviously. Has some more fantastic action that you always remember. The story here is the best. I think this is the one with the Kremlin bombing sequence, which is also just one of the best sequences inside a Mission Impossible movie. It's directed by Brad Bird, so it has a more unique style than the rest of the movies. Like, the ending is literally in a car lot where cars are falling from the sky and they're dodging falling cars while fighting each other. Just a lot of fun. And is the movie that's more unique, the most unique out of all of the Mission Impossible movies, but also has the best sequence in any action movie I've ever seen. It's an action masterpiece, for sure. For sure, man. It is an action masterpiece. Ain't that right? Mad Max 3. I know it's got a surname, but I can't remember. I cannot remember it. Mad Max 3 Wasteland or whatever. Does it really matter? I'm going to look it up anyways. Mad Max 3. Beyond Thunderdome. Wait, then what's Mad Max? What's Mad Max 2? The Road Warrior is Mad Max 2. Okay. So the Road Warrior is Mad Max 2. And Beyond Thunderdome was Mad Max 3. Mad Max 3 is, I would like to say it's a solid hit. I'm putting it in meh. Honestly, I'd much rather revisit all of them over it. Yeah, it's solid there. Not saying it's a bad movie. I found things I enjoyed out of it, but overall, there were some things with the story that were just weird, specifically as we entered the third act. It's kind of like Lost Boys meet Mad Max. Not Lost Boys as a vampire, but like just a bunch of kids that are on an island by themselves meet Mad Max. We have a couple cool sequences with the Thunderdome stuff, and I think the first act of this movie is great, but the more the movie goes on, we enter the third act, we keep going on with the movie. It just turns into like, oh, okay. All right, we're still going, and the movie just took a really weird turn. And so it's not as near as bad as Mad Max 2. It's highly watchable, but it's also not necessarily a good movie. John Wick Chapter 4, I wouldn't put it in action masterpiece just because the story and some of the pacing is a little bit off. But, I mean, it's definitely got the best action sequences. It goes to the top of great movie. It is by far the best John Wick movie. I saw it the first time, and I thought the middle act was weird. Then I rewatched it with my dad a couple years later. Thought it was awesome, and I rewatched it before I saw Ballerina. Thought it was awesome. The action in this movie is great, whether it's the kitchen fight scene in the beginning of the movie, whether it's the nightclub fight sequence, which for some reason I hated, but now I just adore the colors, the visuals. I think it is a beautiful sequence. It's really good. Like, the action is really good. And then the final hour of the movie is just this big action sequence that leads to a very satisfying finale with John Wick's death as he finally earns his freedom. Very satisfying. Now, there are moments that the movie does get slow. Like, we have a big action sequence in the next 20 minutes, just a lot of talking that I'm like, oh, I kind of want another action sequence here. But it's still a great movie. It's by far the best in the John Wick franchise for me. Let's do Hobbs and Shaw before we get on to Fast X. And it's a solid movie. It's completely solid. movie. It's got great chemistry. Jason Statham, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, obviously great chemistry. They're very fun here. Idris Elba, great villain. Vanessa Kirby as a character in here is a lot of fun. And the third act is just Dwayne Johnson, the family, his family of the island natives are just an insane action sequence that they just go full on ham for. Compared to the rest of the movie, it's not as awesome. It's not as super solid, but it's just fun as a fun little action movie, buddy cop movie that I enjoy. I think it's solid here. I think I'll put it here. The story for John McThree isn't all that good, but yeah, I think I'm solid with Hobbs and Shaw here. And then we got, did I do 5 Transformers? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, I did. All right, let's do Rise of the Beasts. It's solid. It's better than that, and we'll stop there. It's a solid movie. It plays it very safe. It doesn't have any of the big carnage excitement that Michael Bay brings to it, but it also doesn't have any like the character moments or emotions that Bumblebee had. It's just fine. It's fine. It has some solid action sequences. I really was excited during the ending where we learned that they're combining G.I. Joe and Transformers. Very excited for that movie. But overall, like the story itself with the animals is not all that interesting. The action is not near as exciting because it's not directed by Michael Bay. So the movie, it's okay. It's a fine watch. It's decent. But it's also like, it's not a movie that when I want to rewatch Transformers, I'll rewatch the first one or Dark of the Moon. Because those have the insane action sequences that you go watch a Michael Bay movie for. This one, not really. It's a solid hit. It's a solid movie. It's not as special. All right. One movie in each franchise, right? One. Oh, no, I got to do Bad Boys for Life, which is, again, a great movie. It's not as good as Bad Boys 2, in my opinion. I think I'll put it here. I think I'll put it above Furious 7, break up those 3. Bad Boys for Life is where a new director takes on, and it is just a lot of fun. It has stakes here. It has character deaths. It has emotions in here that the movie elicits out of you. It's got a villain that is personal to Will Smith's character, and the movie feels like a Fast and Furious movie in the best way. You know, it's schlocky. It's fun with characters you really enjoy. It's a movie that is so different from Bad Boys 2 because Bad Boys 2 is just Michael Bay insane goodness. This movie tones it down, but adds more to a story level, which I really enjoy and connect with it on an emotional level. It's a great movie. Bad Boys for Life is. All right, now we have one in each franchise. Before we do that, why not? Before we finish up, we're going to react to the Bride trailer. Give my voice a rest. I'm starting to lose my voice. Oh! Nope. We are not watching the Bride trailer first because I just clicked on YouTube and we just got our first trailer for It, Welcome to Derry. Now I'm excited. I am very much looking forward to It, Welcome to Derry. I love the 2 It movies, and an It spinoff on HBO Max just sounds full awesomeness. Also, I'm watching this game tonight. New York Mets at Chicago Cubs. We also have, we'll react to the Bride trailer too. We'll talk about both of these. Actually what? Let's talk about It, Welcome to Derry. Hold on. And I'll probably take this clip out and put it on my channel later today. I'll try to do that. Here we go.
Hello? Oh, hi. I'm Rich, by the way. Will.
With renting a house in town, 8 years living on base, I just think my missus is ready for a little taste of normal.
Well, if normal is what you're after, you two are going to love Derry.
You don't like it much down here, do you, Miss Handler? You know, it's hard not to miss the things you leave behind.
We're getting into the swing of it, though. Starting to feel like home.
Things happen here. We don't really talk about it. No one does.
They never even found a body. But maybe you could figure out what really happened to him.
Could have been a drifter.
Do you think somebody could kidnap a kid and keep him underground? In the sewers?
Oh, no. No, don't go down there.
What happened out there, Helen?
We have 25 disappearances, 7 confirmed deaths, mostly children.
Something bad's coming.
Oh my goodness, it's a
What is
spaceship.
that?
Oh. Sold. He sold. I didn't even realize they put out a teaser already.
My family and I
I didn't even see this. When the heck was this released? A month ago? Wait, that was the official teaser too? Bro, I didn't even see the original I didn't even see the original trailer. That's dope. That's awesome. I agree. That looks so cool. So it seems that we're playing like a race card because it's 1962. A black family moves in, you know, kind of weird things happen. They're probably going to be like, oh, yeah, racism. That's bad. But it also feels like weird stuff are going on. The shot of all the meteors coming crashing down looks incredible. Obviously, Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise is just incredible. Freaks me out. Such a cool actor. Like all the stuff, all the creepy stuff, it looks good. It looks more than good. It looks incredible. So I'm sold, completely sold for more It universe stuff. Now I could see where it could fumble the bag. If it fumbles the bag, then I'll be like, okay, that was a little disappointing because I could see a universe where it doesn't do as good. But based by the trailer, I really liked it. Also, what is this? Okay, cool. Let's react to The Bride teaser now. Directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal, Jake Gyllenhaal's daughter. And it's like Frankenstein's bride. Yeah.
was I just the same
Dang, bro.
before the accident?
There wasn't any accident. Everything we did it on purpose. There's nothing left to do now but live.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Come on, big man.
You don't want to play?
till death do us part.
What's my name? I can't remember. Monstrous.
March 6th. Okay. All right. I'm into that too. That looks weird. It looks like it could very easily not work. But I mean, how could I not be excited for it? Directed by Jake Gyllenhaal's daughter. It has Jake Gyllenhaal in the movie. I think Maggie Gyllenhaal plays the bride, right? Right? No, Buckley. Jessie Buckley plays the bride. Christian Bale plays Frankenstein. I mean, dude, how can you not be excited to watch a movie where Christian Bale plays Frankenstein? Like, again, just like Welcome to the Dairy, it looks like a movie that could really fumble the bag. The pacing could just be really dull and boring and go really slow. But also at the same time, it looks like it could do some really interesting and cool things. I mean, you got Frankenstein with gun shooting dude, Frankenstein in the streets murdering a dude. Like, it looks like it could be really cool. But again, it's another thing where it looks like it could be a really bad movie. It'll be a movie that I'll have to see. Like, it looks like it could be my top 5 of the year, or it looks like it could be in the bottom 5 of the year. Just like Lisa Frankenstein. Kind of give me Lisa Frankenstein vibes, where it's a movie that I thought I could really enjoy, but I just really hated it because of the characters. Really don't like Lisa Frankenstein. All right. I think that's it for trailers. I already put out a short doing I never did the Wake Up Dead Man trailer for a specific reason, because I don't want to see the trailer. All right, let's close this baby out. Finish the action franchise tier list. All right, we'll just go in order here. Ballerina. Actually, cord's in the way. I'm putting my foot up on my seat. Sorry, I'm putting my chair out. My brother had this chair, and he bought a more expensive chair, and so I get the old chair, and it's my new YouTube chair, and I kind of like the chair for my YouTube chair. I said chair a lot. Ballerina, solid hit. Like I said, has a lot of great action sequences in here. Has a story that's okay, but the action is really where it's at. I mean, so many action sequences. One in a kitchen, one with flamethrowers in the third act of the movie, one with in a nightclub, the obvious traditional action movie nightclub sequence. So it's a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun with the action in the movie. But the way they use John Wick, the way they add John Wick in the movie is unnatural. There is a moment in the movie where I just got kind of bored of countless action sequences, and it got a little dual. So, I don't know. A rewatch is really going to prove if I think it's a great movie, if it's just a solid hit. For now, I'm putting it in solid hit. Actually, I think I'm going to put it right here. I think I'm going to put it at the top of solid hit. Because the more I think about it, the more I realize how much fun I had with it. But also, a rewatch really is in order. And now here we go. Here we go with a movie that is going... I did not mean to hit my desk like that. A movie that is going to be that is so disappointing to me. My most anticipated movie of the year, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, unfortunately is just going in meh. Again, I need to rewatch the movie. Again, I could rewatch it and like think, oh, I'm a dumbass. That was really good. But for me, this movie just didn't work that much. There's so much I loved in this movie. The submarine sequence is awesome. With the aspect ratio changing, phenomenal. The plane sequence, the ending sequence is a lot of fun. But the movie itself has so much exposition. It goes from story where we're setting up for a mission. We're sitting back. All right, this is the mission. We got to do this and this and this and this. And before we get to that mission, we have another sequence where they're sitting around talking about a completely different mission. The story felt all over the place. It felt so exposition heavy. And God dang it, I don't want to say it, but it's boring. Like, until we get to the big action sequences that blew me away, the movie can be boring. So it's at the top of meh. It's not a horrible movie, but it is very much so one of the most disappointing movies I've ever seen. It did close it out in a satisfying way, to be honest. I feel like the ending is very satisfying. Disappointing. Very disappointing. Mad Max Fury Road. I'm not as high on it as a lot of people. I don't think it's like a top 5 movie of all time, but I do think it's really solid, made even better by Furiosa. It's got all these great action sequences with a very weird world. I read the book for Blood, Sweat, and Chrome, and it is just a great book. Tom Hardy is great in here. Charlize Theron is really good in this movie as well. And it just has all the great action set pieces and a very, I did not mean to hit that button, and a very satisfying ending. Bruh. Brother. Where did they go? It just disappeared. All right, now I gotta add Bumblebee back in here. I got to add Bad Boys Ride or Die back in here. All right. I don't know why it did that, but okay. But anyways, Mad Max Fury Road is a lot of fun for an action movie. It's not a masterpiece for me. I don't even think it's really a great movie. I'm going to put it in solid hit. I am going to put it right. I think I'll put it at the top of solid hit. It is at the top solid hit, but I don't really think it compares to everything in great movie. It goes right there. Fast X. It gets the franchise back for me. Like I said, Fast Furious 8 kind of lost me a little bit. Fast Furious 9 completely lost me. And now Fast X kind of won me over. Has the what I really loved about the other movies, big extravagant action sequences, like cars going everywhere. We have a racing sequence in here, which is a lot of fun. John Cena, the family aspect, a lot of fun in here. And a villain that is really cool and really dangerous in Jason Momoa. And ended off at a cliffhanger where I was like, I want to see the next one now. And we still haven't got the next one. So I'm very excited for it still, but getting a little nervous that it's going to be a bad movie. But it won me back. It has the same vibe as 6, 5, and 7. So, won me back. I am going to put it in solid hits. I don't think it's as good as these 3, but it's still a very good movie. I'll put it here. I think it's solid right there. Like I said, I've never revisited it since the theater in 2023, but it is one I did really enjoy. Bumblebee is yet another movie on today's tier. Why do I feel like there should be more in solid hit? Oh my goodness. The entire tier, bro. It got rid of the Bad Boys, like all of the Bad Boys movies in the tier. Why did it do that? Well, bear with me while I fix the tier. Which one is this? Is that Dark of the Moon? That is Dark of the Moon. Go in there. Put that one there. Bad Boys, solid hit. Put that there. Bad Boys 2 is a great movie. Bad Boys for Life was also a great movie. All right, there. All right, that was fixed. I don't know why it did that, but that's stupid. Anyways, Bumblebee is yet another film that is going in the solid hit tier. I think it's very solid. The character moments with Haley Atwell is very good. Wait, or is that Steinfeld? I think it's Haley Steinfeld, actually. Yes, it's Haley Steinfeld, the one that's married to Josh Allen. So, yeah. Haley Steinfeld, great in the movie. Bumblebee, always a delight. Has very good character moments in here. Has some cool action. But then again, like when I watch Transformers, like the good Transformers movies for me are the ones with Michael Bay. Absolute carnage candy, big action explosions, big extravagant finales, exhausting movies. This one didn't have any of the like extravagant robot action that the Michael Bay movies did, but it replaces that with the good character moments. So it goes in solid hit. I think it's a solid placement right there, actually, behind John Wick 3. I like that placement there. And our final movie on the tier list is a disappointing one, Bad Boys Ride or Die. I watched the 3 movies before. So excited for this one because of how much I enjoy the Bad Boys franchise. And it goes in May. It's a movie I don't remember much about. It's a movie I went on a double feature with to see this one and The Watchers, and then I watched Hitman later that day. And this one was by far the worst one for me. It didn't have any of the character moments that I thought were great, and it also didn't have any of the fun moments that Bad Boys 2 had. It didn't really have any compelling villains. It had some good moments. The Reggie fight sequence is an all-timer sequence. But the rest of the movie, it didn't have anything all that memorable. It's not like when I want to rewatch a Bad Boys franchise, it's either 2 or for life. I'll never watch Ride or Die. So for me, I got to put Ride or Die. It's going here. It's still a very watchable movie, but it's going in Meh, right behind The Final Reckoning. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's the Fast and Furious franchise, Mission Impossible franchise, Transformers franchise, Mad Max franchise, and the Bad Boys franchise. That's 6 franchises that we just ranked. John Wick franchise, too. I didn't say that. That's 6 franchises that we tier ranked. Let's go over it real quick. The worst one, Transformers Last Night, terrible. Fast and Furious, terrible. Mad Max 2, very bad. Fast 9, lost me on the franchise. Tokyo Drift, kind of boring. Mad Max 3, weird story. Age of Extinction, don't remember. John Wick 2, kind of dull. John Wick 1, kind of dull. Mission Impossible 2, slow-mo. Fast and Furious 8, technically the Fate of the Furious, started to lose me. Revenge of the Fallen, Michael Bay, balls, jokes. Ride or Die, kind of forgettable. Final Reckoning, disappointing. Mad Max, weird story, but still solid. Bad Boys, solid chemistry between the 2 characters. Rise of the Beast, I think is what it's called. Cool action or cool stuff that happens, but doesn't have anything from the original or Bumblebee. Too Fast, Too Furious, solid, fun. Hobbs and Shaw, great chemistry, fun third act. Bumblebee, great character moments. John Wick 3, weird story, great action. Furiosa, weird story, great action. Mission Impossible, fun Brian De Palma spy flick. The Fast and Furious, good racing movie. Fast X brought me back to the franchise. Mission Impossible 3, intense. What is this one called? Shoot, what is it called? Dark of the Moon. I'm starting to lose my brain a little bit. We've been live for 2 hours. Dark of the Moon, very good. Ballerina, great action. Mad Max Fury Road, great action. Rogue Nation, not the best story, but still great Mission Impossible movie. Furious 7, big emotions. Bad Boys for Life, character moments. Fast 5 and Furious 6, great action movies. Bad Boys 2, great chemistry, wild movie. John Wick 4, best action sequences. Ghost Protocol, Brad Bird. Transformers, amazing Transformers movie. Mission Impossible Fallout, one of the best, but Dead Reckoning, the best. And there we go. The tier list. My brother says next I should rank all Star Wars projects. I would have today. There was one I was highly considering, but then Mandalorian and Grogu comes out next May. So I'm going to rank all the Star Wars projects next May. So when Mandalorian and Grogu comes out, all the seasons, everything else. So there we go. There's the action movie tier list. We've been live for 1 hour and 50 minutes. I'm hungry. I'm going to go get some food, and I'm going to catch up on Alien Earth and watch a movie. More I'm thinking about it, I think tonight I'm going to either watch one of these 2. I'm in the mood to watch those. I don't know, though. So thank you guys for clicking on this video. Thank you guys for staying tuned to the live stream. And with that said, there's a tier list. Y'all have a good one.